Hey beauties, it's Tuesday and I'm just really excited because today I am doing a speaking engagement. Yesterday was all book work. I was literally going through trying to do a presentation talking points sheet. Today I'm going to finalize those talking points, maybe a couple of questions I'm going to ask. I'm going to work on me and Zay's social media calendar and just prepare myself mentally to walk into this space and impact these girls and touch these girls' lives and just be a breath of fresh air, a light. I don't care if I forget my words. I'm really telling myself that. I practiced my speech last night with Isaiah, so I'm feeling really ready to get moving today. Working on some scheduling from home first. I don't speak until this afternoon. So I'm gonna work on some scheduling at home. I just got from the gym, so I'm like really fired up, like I'm ready for the day. I'm gonna do like a little protein shake right now to get my juices flowing, sit down at the computer for a little bit. I'll probably take like an hour and a half on the computer. I'm gonna go easy on myself, maybe just sit by the pool or chill out for a little bit. Do my makeup, get dressed, get ready, and just get ready to really help and impact some lives. I love being able to share my knowledge in every facet of the field. I don't necessarily feel like I'm at my peak of social media and my peak of well-being, but I do feel like the things that I have learned from when I started my career at 17 to 30 now can really help these girls. A lot of what I put in the presentation is very technical, but I want to take time and points in each slide to really just like talk to the girls and be there for them and give them time to share on different topics and share what they're going through and ask questions. And so I really want it to be kind of an interactive thing and not bore them and like paint drying on the wall. I'm going to make a quick protein shake in my kitchen before I get started. A spoonful. I feel like it just is really helpful. It smells so good. Here's a little spoon. It tastes like applesauce. I'm getting used to the consistency. A vegan chocolate protein. Zay threw in my plastic cup. So I'm gonna use my little Erewhon. You know, you guys are out here getting these Erewhon smoothies that are costing $20, and I'm gonna make mine at home for $0 because I know it's gonna taste the way I want it to taste. You know what I mean? Okay, it's still really early. Shake up this. That's good. A little bit. So I'm gonna use 1 scoop. Please, we are done making my shake. I'll be the judge of this. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. This is wrong. Rehearse the speech. Go over the speech. I'm gonna do a couple of things on the computer. I'm gonna start our content calendar and then I'm gonna start getting ready. I really just want to explore how social media can really positively impact your pockets, your well-being, how you look professionally, and the client experience. So let's get into it and don't be afraid to speak up. I really want to hear from you. So I came in the bathroom to start getting ready, and lo and behold, I actually found the cutest note from my man, just basically saying, "May God be with you. May He cover you. This is for you, the family, and your grandma. Go be great. XOXO, babe." I'm not gonna cry. I just put my lashes on. I do not have time to film my whole makeup process. So, I mean, I could try to give you braid down and like putting it inside of it. I put this clip inside of it to help. I bought it and it had another clip inside of it. Sides giving. Cute. Okay, can't see nothing. See on this side. What is it giving? All right. I feel like this is the hair. I chose to go with a really simplistic outfit. It's all about them. It's all about them leveling up with their social media and their wellness and their mindfulness. So black and white it is. I don't want to be too crazy on the shoes, you feel me? But get a load of this glam and this hair moment that we're having here, because I really feel very positive about it. Very. About social media and well-being, how many of you, by the show of hands, would say that you associate social media with mental health or wellness at all in any? Okay, a lot of people in this room, so you know everyone's already about this topic. So first, I want to just thank Tiffany and Aaron for having me to come in to speak. I love public speaking, so it's just really nice to sit with you guys today, and maybe I will sit at some point, but right now I'm gonna say it. It's really nice to just be with y'all today and to talk about social media. I'm still growing my social media presence, but I feel like it's been a really, really great tool for me in my professional workload and showcasing my portfolio and basically having something professional there that speaks for me before I speak. So that's what I'm going to share with you guys today, and we're going to also talk a little bit about cyberbullying. Ew, we hate that. I'm going to talk about my experience on that and really how that also made me better and more confident in my social media, and then also like some of the cons of that too. We're going to use these little papers right here that says social media and well-being, and that's going to be like the presentation. I'm not going to bore you guys to death and talk about everything word for word, but now you have this presentation as a guide when you're doing your workbooks. And your workbooks are basically for a roadmap to creating content for yourself. So whether you're just getting started or you've been creating content, whatever platform that you like, this will help you to be able to navigate through defining what it is that you really want to talk about and what you're interested in. So the first slide is who am I? So I got everyone's name, got what you guys are loving about the talks, and I just wanted to take a moment to talk about myself. I am not going to read my whole bio, y'all, but I just wanted to share a little bit of information on who I am. I'm a professional makeup artist. That's what I do. Who likes makeup? Who wears makeup in this class? Y'all not supposed to be wearing makeup yet. So I do makeup by profession. I started when I was 17 years old, and I've been doing it now all the way till I'm 30 now. And I love it. There are some parts of it I don't love, like sometimes in the industry, like it can just be a little bit crazy, running around after celebrities a little bit crazy. But I've done everything from like red carpets. I worked on TV shows. I've worked on press for TV. So right now I'm working for Hulu and Netflix. And they have a couple of shows coming out. Oh, and Disney. And they have a couple of shows coming out, and I'm just basically doing makeup for some of the actors or participants on their shows. So some exciting stuff. Sometimes it's really boring. You're just sitting there a lot and eating snacks. Okay, so we will move on to the next slide, which is going to be about social media goals and the impact that you can make with your social media. So why is social media important to your goals? It's something that you can leverage to improve your professional identity. It's something that you can make people laugh with. You can be someone that just shares your hobbies. You can share that you like to clean. You can do whatever you like, and it's just a way for millions of people to be exposed to you or your business or products that you want to share. all with your phone or your tablet. I don't know what you guys are using these days, but yeah. How can you learn to start sharing your vision and impacting people therapeutically? Well, there's a few things that I want to talk about, and it's a very simple strategy. Just having social role models, so having people that you look up to on social media. Maybe they have 1,000 followers, but maybe they have 1 million followers, but you just like what they're talking about. You might like their aesthetic. You might like the way that they communicate. And this is kind of your indicator to show you how you might like to share your vision and share the things that you love on social media. Number 2, developing a healthy relationship with yourself. Now, I heard a few people talking about relationships. They like developing healthy relationships. And so you want to be sure that you're solid, that you're confident in what you're sharing. You don't have to share everything. But I'm really confident in my makeup game. And so that's really what I share. I share my portfolio, my work. Sometimes I'm sharing like different things on social media behind the scenes, and whatever I share, I'm pretty confident and just positive with it. So you want to just make sure that all the ways, all the things that you're showing up to share, all the things that you're showing up to share, you feel secure and ready to share those things with confidence. And the last would be getting organized. You want to make sure that you're organized with what you're going to share, having like a calendar or some type of space where you write down like what it is that you're going to be sharing on your social media. You can even do this with Pinterest. Like if you want to share things on Pinterest, maybe you're sharing videos on Pinterest, but maybe you're sharing pictures, or maybe you're sharing other things that you like, but having a sense of like what it is that you're going to put in those folders, right? To share with people so that people can identify you by what you're sharing on your social media. And then on the side where that little iPhone is, there's just some stats for you to see, because I wanted you to be able to acknowledge and see how much of a big impact you can have all with your iPhone or your iPad. So just to talk about, more of the personal landscape of everything, 90% of millennials are on social media. That's a lot of people, 90%. So you have that opportunity to impact those people. 74% women, so girls like us, the girlies, are on social media. And location-wise, 70% of urban and suburban residents are on social media. So again, those are very high percentages. You have the opportunity to impact millions of people. All right, let's go to the next slide. And this one is about your role, the role of social media in business and in your personal life. Okay. So social media has a huge influence on your brand today. By understanding its specific role, this will help identify what ways it can be beneficial to you. So how many of you have been on social media and maybe you have a product that you like, or you bought something off Amazon and you wanted to communicate about it maybe before it or after it, but you were able to do it immediately? Raise your hands if you've maybe done something like that. You bought something on social media, TikTok shop, something, and you got a response immediately. So real-time communication is one of the benefits of having social media if you decide to develop a business on it. Content marketing. So how many of you have seen like Fenty Beauty post about a lip gloss and you were like, I need that lip gloss? Have you seen Rihanna on social media and you're like, dang, I really need whatever lip gloss she's wearing? So raise your hand if you've had that experience. Maybe a clothing item that you really like. But yeah, so that opportunity is for, creating quality content. So influencer partnerships. How many people have people that they like on social media and they've seen them broadcasting about this product and they're like, oh yeah, this is a paid ad, this is a sponsored ad? Have you seen that? Show of hands. Yeah. So you can make money on social media with paid sponsorships. And then also I want to talk about the importance of considering the aspects that your followers might care about, and that's authenticity, personalization. So being personal to the person that you're talking to. Maybe for me, like example, sometimes I'm talking to artists, but sometimes I'm talking to my clients. So I want to be specific and customize what I'm sharing for whoever I'm talking to. Social responsibility. So when you put yourself out there on social media, you are responsible for the people that you're sharing the information with. So sharing bad information or wrong information or negative information may not be in your best interest. And last, interactive engagement. So how many of you guys have been on social media and you've seen quizzes or polls or broadcast channels that you wanted to join? So that's your way of being able to interact with other people. All right, we'll go to the next slide. Okay, so this slide, I actually wanted you guys to read, but before I have a question for you. So raise your hands and tell me, what are some of your favorite platforms? I know we just talked about this, but yes? Tell me your name.
Nayeli.
Nayeli, hi.
I pretty much like YouTube.
YouTube,
and
okay.
Snapchat and TikTok.
Oh, Snapchat, okay. And you like TikTok too, okay. So we're on page, I think we're on page 4 of the slides. I don't know if she has it. Will you share that with her? Can they share? Okay, so because you said that you like TikTok, I wanted you to read this part of what TikTok. So this page is all about the purposes of the content spaces and the content types of which you'll post on each. So for TikTok, what is the purpose of TikTok?
Viral content and youth engagement.
Mm-hmm. And then what is the content type?
Short creative videos, challenges, and trends.
Okay. And then someone who likes Instagram. You want to do Instagram? You want to do one? You can go, Halia. Which one do you want to do?
I like YouTube.
YouTube? Okay. Tell me about YouTube. What's the purpose of YouTube?
Long form video content and stories.
Correct, correct. And then what is the content type?
Vlogs, tutorials, reviews, and
Webinars. Good, good. Okay. You tell me one.
My name?
No, you go ahead. Which one? We already did TikTok and YouTube. Do you want to do Facebook?
Yeah, I'll do TikTok.
Okay.
Community building and long form posts, videos, live streams, and events. And customer service and
Interactions. Good job. Yes, that was a big word. Good job. Okay, go on.
I'll do Instagram.
Instagram? Okay, perfect.
Storytelling and brand aesthetic.
Uh-huh. The content type?
High quality images, short videos, stories, IGTV, and reels.
Okay. So we won't really talk about Twitter and LinkedIn. I feel like we haven't really been been on Twitter. We haven't really been on LinkedIn. I definitely haven't, but I have been on Threads and I have been liking that. I don't know if you guys started your Threads pages, but I do like Threads. It's kind of taken the place of Twitter for me. So yeah, knowing what each social media does is really, really helpful when you're picking which social media you like. You like Pinterest, so just knowing like Pinterest is basically picking your interests, right? Pinning your interests. It's really simple, and you can basically post content that serves your interests, or you can basically make your own so that people can pin them for their interests. So yeah. Let's go to the next slide. So this is just branding formulas. We want to talk about personal brand versus social media brand. So if you have a personal brand, it's basically going to be mostly you that is featured in that content. Like on Erin's page, I love Erin's page, but she's always featuring herself in her content. So when you go to her page, or when a brand is trying to partner with her on her page, they're gonna want her to be the star of that content. They're gonna want Erin to talk about everything that she loves and she likes about the content. So that's a personal brand. But a social media brand could be someone that has a product. Erin also has a product, so she can actually make a separate social media if she wanted for her book. And she could just have faceless posts on there, or she can have some with her, or she can have some reading the book. But that's more of a social media brand. So the difference is basically just that when it's your personal brand, it's mainly going to be featuring you. When it's a social media brand, it could be a product, it could be faceless. If you don't want to show your face and you don't want that to be the headliner of your social media. And that way, if it is a faceless Instagram, like if you decide, or TikTok or however, if you decide like, you know what, I want somebody else to run this, like it's gotten too big, I don't want to do this, you could basically have somebody else doing it because your face isn't in it. Nobody knows. So there's two different formulas. It's just a little bit different. So for personal branding, you're going to identify your niche or what it is that you want to talk about. So niche means what it is that you are honing in on that you want to talk about. You're going to create a consistent voice and image behind that. You're going to engage with your audience, and then you're going to share your journey. And then after you've done all that, you're going to network. And then for social media brand, you're going to define your brand's values. So you want to have like a lot more information on the front end. So you're going to define the values, you're going to create a content calendar, you're going to engage regularly, and then you're going to utilize your analytics to be able to see, okay, what are customers buying, what posts are they liking the most, and then you're going to collaborate with different influencers. As you've seen, different brands, usually products, usually partner with influencers and such. So that's what you're going to see. So this next slide, I'm not going to read off of, but it just goes further into creating that formula. And you can use this alongside your workbook later on when you're alone to just define your who, your what, your when, your where, your why. Are you guys learning this in school still? Who, what, when, where, why?
No.
How? No? No? No?
Old school.
That's too old school. That's old
Like
school.
at my old school.
Oh, that's the old school. Okay. That's at the old school.
Yeah, that's my old school.
She was like, that's a little dated. But yeah, this is just basically a formula that you can go into if you're serious about getting into social media and planning your brand out. That slide is for that. So I want to keep it moving. And I want to branch more into managing your online reputation and the well-being portion of everything. So we're going to skip those two next slides, and we're going to go to that green one right there. This green page. Let me know when everybody's on it. Say on it.
On it.
Okay, so why your online reputation matters. So number one, first impression is everything. Have you ever seen somebody show up and they were just like, they were late, their handwriting was sloppy or something, and you were just like, this person is off, like I'm not into it, I don't think we're gonna be friends? Raise your hand if you had that experience. I feel like everybody's had that experience. You're like, something's not right about it. So just so that you know, when you're presenting yourself on social media, that's your first impression. Your first impression is everything. So even if it's not a camera like this and you're shooting all like this, you can still make it look presentable, whether you're shooting it by yourself or with somebody else. Just making your content look presentable. Trust and credibility. Having a positive representation or a reputation of yourself and your audience, this just helps people to trust you. How many people have you been like, I need somebody to help me with something, but I don't trust this person, so I'm not gonna ask them? I've definitely been there. So yeah, the people that you want to follow on social media are people that you're like, I kind of trust them. I'm gonna go ahead and buy this foundation because I really trust them. And then loyalty. So how many of you value loyalty? Like when your friends are with somebody else and they don't like you and they might be talking about you, but your friend is like, don't be talking about my friend. I value that. I definitely want that in a friend. Raise your hand if you want that in a friend. That's a good friend. Okay. So yeah, your reputation really, really, really matters. And your reputation matters as you're walking, because you're a walking and talking piece of whatever it is that you're going to be, whether you want to be a doctor or you do want to be a makeup artist or you do want to do hair. Like, what if I came in here, y'all, and my hair was all crazy and messed up and I had no makeup on? You'd be like, she is not a makeup artist. Like, No, she won't be doing my makeup. So you just want to have the best presentation possible. And then handling negative comments. Like, how many of you guys have heard negative comments about yourself and it made you feel away? Yeah, we all been there. So consistent and authentic communication behind that is really helpful. So, for me, it's real simple. I'm probably gonna delete the comment and I'm gonna block that person. I'm gonna unfollow that person, because on my page, we don't talk like that. Like, we're not negative. But there are other ways to deal with it. Some people, like this girl, she's a makeup artist, so I like to follow her. Her name's Jackie Aina, and she will literally read people on her page, and she'll do it very classy and comment back to people and be like, this is not who I am, or share whatever she's gonna share. But just having authentic communication, but healthy communication. I remember you guys talked about healthy communication, so we're getting there. Yeah, and then we'll talk about a little bit more into cyberbullying. How many of you guys have experienced cyberbullying? Does anybody know what that is? Can anybody tell me what that is? How have you told me what that is?
So basically, cyberbullying is like a bully online, but you don't even know that.
Okay.
And actually, I've experienced cyberbullying.
Mm-hmm.
So, anything like cringe and all that stuff, like you could say whatever word you want to say, but that's not gonna stop me from doing what I love. Like, I love making content for other people. So you can hate on me if you want. That's just not gonna take me down.
Yes, I love that. And I love your confidence, having confidence when there's bullies, even if it's not cyberbullying, it's really important. Can anybody else share their experiences of cyberbullying or bullying that changed you or shaped you or kind of made you be like, you know what, I'm that girl. I'm not gonna let people bother me. Halia?
So one time I had this channel where I would post it was this old channel with Play-Doh dresses or whatever, and I was really young. And when I was looking back at that channel, I saw that some people were like, "What are you doing? This is so bad." And I was 5, so it doesn't make sense. Why are you number 5 or that?
Yes,
But,
exactly.
I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try to log back into the account and respond to it.
Right.
So I responded to the hate comment. I was like, wow, that's pathetic. You're hating on a 5-year-old just because your life is so bad.
Period.
All right, girl. Well, that is an amazing way to stand up for yourself. I love that. I love hearing that you ladies are just so confident in yourselves and willing to stand up for yourselves. That's huge, because when I was younger, I was not standing up for myself like that, and I was being bullied, y'all. I was bullied in middle school. Social media wasn't really a thing then. I feel like we had MySpace. Did you have MySpace, Aaron? Y'all had MySpace? Yeah. So that summer, I feel like that summer there was MySpace, but before that, I was getting bullied by 2 girls in my classroom that were actually originally my friends, and they would bully me every day on the bus. They would throw stuff at me on the bus every single day. Can you imagine every time you get on the bus, someone's throwing something at you? Yeah, it's crazy. And so I went through 2 years of middle school being bullied like that, and then that summer, they started cyberbullying me. So then they started saying things about me on my MySpace, in the messages, in my inbox. And I was just so broken up about it. I was not as strong as you guys. Both of your stories, you were very, very strong. But it's really funny because now one of the girls who used to bully me, her daughter actually follows me and follows my page. So, sometimes, listen, God's gonna always make sure he gets his lick back, okay? But it's really great if you are confident and you are able to respond in that way. That was great, you two ladies sharing that, how you responded to that. And I feel like those were pretty great responses. You want to keep it appropriate and, you know, not call people out of their names and stuff. But yeah, cyberbullying is very real. Not only can it be something that happens to you, but you may be in a position where, you know, you might not think something very positive about somebody's content. And I just encourage you to not say anything at all. If you don't like it, have it hid from your page, follow them, block them if you need to, but just try to avoid saying things that are hurtful on social media, because you never know how it can impact the other person. All right, let's move on to the next slide. And this one is about well-being and mental health. Can anybody tell me if they, raise your hand if you've dealt with anxiety or if you know what that is? Now keep your hand up if you dealt with anxiety on social media. Okay. Thanks for keeping it real, you guys. I've definitely had some anxiety about my social media too. And so I wanted to talk about some of the aspects that might be the reasons why you might be feeling anxious about social media. And then we're going to talk about some remedies to that on the next slide. So number one, feeling pressure to be perfect. Now, I feel like just as a woman, like we always feel pressure to be perfect. As girls, we always feel pressure to be perfect. When you're in school, your parents are wanting you to get grades, so you feel that pressure to be perfect. Raise your hand if you've ever felt the pressure that you needed to be perfect. Because you don't. So put your hands down, you guys. So that can actually cause stress. It can cause anxiety. And it can also diminish your self-worth. So definitely avoid feeling like you need to be perfect. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be progressing. So as long as you're trying to get better, that's really all that matters. So people could be like, oh, why are you doing it that way? I'm just getting better. So number two, the trap of comparison. How many of you have felt the need to like compare yourself at times? Be like, oh, she has this, but I don't got this. Or, oh, she got her hair in these cute little goddess braids. Like, I don't have goddess braids like that, so maybe my hair is not as cute. Raise your hand if you've dealt with that. Yeah, I've definitely dealt with feeling and falling into that trap of comparison, but I will speak to that. It's not healthy. It's always a dangerous road, because you're always going to meet people that you see that their grass is greener, but when you're looking at their grass, you're not watering your own. So make sure you pay attention to your grass and know that you're beautiful the way you are and the way that God made you. All right, number three, managing your time on social media. How many of you have been like scrolling on Pinterest, on TikTok, on being on YouTube, and then you look up and it's been like 3 or 4 hours? Yeah. Yeah. It's not good. It's really not healthy, because you realize that you've basically completely checked out of life. You haven't even had time to take a breath and you're scrolling down your social media. So excessive time spent on social media can actually have you neglecting your real life. So setting boundaries, having mindful consumption, and doing detoxes. Does anybody know what a detox is? Tell me what a detox is.
A detox is when you just, it's kind of like when you drink a tea and that tea can help you like get all the toxins out of your body.
Yeah,
but
okay.
Instead of like inside, it's kind of like outside, where you can shut off all your screens and just take a moment or an hour or two, just, you know, like center yourself and relax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's great. That is exactly what that is. Okay, now let's talk about some strategies to maintaining well-being. I know we talked about some social media strategies and you're probably like, what was she talking about? But that's okay. After you do your workbook, you're gonna know. But let's talk about some strategies for maintaining your well-being and your mental health. So setting boundaries, so limiting your screen time. Does anybody know how to set their screen time settings on their phone? Yeah? Tell me how. Uh-huh.
And then you can make a screen time password for yourself.
You sure can.
Limit if you want to. But you can set limits for each app, and you can like do a lot of other settings, like not just in apps.
Yes. That is true, you can. So if you do decide to pursue social media or content creating in your journey to the rest of your life, figuring out what you decide to do long term, you definitely want to limit your screen time. You want to try to create batches of content or make a content calendar so you're not consumed by what am I going to post. And like you said, using your settings. Go to your settings, click screen time, have your parents do it if you can't do it yourself, so that you're just not consumed by social media. Practicing self-care. So raise your hand and tell me a type of self-care practice, if you know what I'm talking about, that you have been using or learned about while you were in this camp. Let me see. Tell me. Yes. Say it again. You can say your name again, yes. Leah. Tell me a self-care practice that you learned while you were in this camp.
Loving yourself.
Loving yourself, okay. Okay. Go ahead, yes. Okay.
I'm Naomi, and something I learned in this camp is something I learned was to be positive and to,
Yeah.
when you have stress, to relieve it with certain strategies.
Okay. What are some strategies that you learned to relieve it?
Listening to like music and
Okay.
taking deep breaths.
Yes.
Like being yourself doing like a face mask or doing
Okay.
pretty much doing whatever feels right to you.
A face mask? You doing face masks, girl? Right, I like that. Okay, tell me.
Cleaning.
Cleaning. Yes, cleaning is self-care. You know what? I need to do that when I get home. Cleaning is definitely self-care. Yes. Huh? Cooking is also self-care. Yes, you guys are correct. So any ways of practicing self-care, this is a really good way to detox or just take a break from social media. There are other things like meditation and affirmations and not freaking out if people don't like your post, and not feeding into negative comments, and just being able to scan your body. Do you guys know about scanning your body and listening to yourself and listening to what emotions you might be feeling? So yeah, being able to just do a body scan and say, something's not feeling right here. I think I feel anxious, right? And now you're gonna go and cook or clean or do a face mask so that you can get right and feel better and feel less anxious. And then the last thing is balancing your online and offline life. Raise your hand if you're with me about not everything being for social media. I don't think everything's for social media. Okay, and so that's exactly what this last strategy of the formula is about, is just having shared spaces, things that you do share with people, and sacred spaces. Like we'll use Miss Erin for another example. So Miss Erin likes to share about her acting and the campaigns that she's doing and the book that she wrote, right? But she's not gonna be sharing all of her business, about her friendships and their details about their life, maybe secrets that she gets, or maybe she's wanting to do a yoga or meditation session. She's not going to be filming herself while she does that all the time. So learning how to keep some things sacred and to yourself, and that just allows you to be able to have a space where you can really just be you and nobody gets to comment on it, nobody gets to say anything, and that's just your little safe space. All right, now we'll go to the next slide. So raise your hand if you feel like you learned something from this presentation already when it comes to social media strategies or well-being strategies. Raise your hand. Great, I'm so glad to hear that. Well, the last thing is personally growing from that. So there are a couple ways that you can personally grow, just like I said, building your brand, and then also receiving brand deals. That's a really incredible thing that can take place if you are consistent with your social media and you do decide to do this workbook and develop a strategy for yourself of how you're going to go about posting on your social media, whether it's something that you just do for fun right now, and maybe it's not something that's scheduled, to something that you might do for fun, and business later. This is something that you can take with you and potentially make money off of in the future. So I hope that you really did genuinely learn something and like something about what you learned. Like I said, a lot of the information that I left on these slides will be with you when you're doing your workbooks. And the last slide is just a conclusion. So in conclusion, balance is key. Professional growth is possible. Personal growth is possible even with social media. And I just want to encourage you that each and every one of you are so beautiful. It was so wonderful talking to you all. You're so smart and like bright, and I really didn't have this expectation of just being able to have all of this good energy around me today. And y'all kind of helped me with my slide presentation, so clap it up for yourselves. And the last thing I want to do is pick a volunteer to share what they learned from this. I actually think I want Miss Tiffany to pick somebody because I feel like I've been picking people. I don't want people to feel like.
Hey, Nayeli.
All right, Nayeli, get up here and share what you learned, girl. Yes, you gonna stand up. All right, Nayeli, tell us what you learned.
Do I look good?
Yes, you look beautiful.
Something I learned from this presentation is that when you're like making content and stuff, to like be yourself when you're like doing stuff and like do what you love, and like if someone's like being like a cyberbully, don't let them like change who you are. Like if they say like, so say like they say like you should like fix your hair and like make braids, don't do that and then go like try to make more changes so they can actually like you, because cyberbullies just don't want you to be happy. They act like they're just trolls online, and if they like if you like reply back to them, they want you to reply back to them so they can keep on just going and going, so you guys can go back and forth. So don't let any cyberbullying get into the way of you, and be yourself.
Yes. So Nayeli, I have a little bit of something for you for answering. Just a little bit of something.
Bullying you in school. How did you get past that? And did you have someone to talk to about that? Kind of what was that experience for you?
In that time, I really didn't have anybody to talk to, so I used my journal. I liked to journal, and I would say everything that I felt inside of a journal. But I feel like I really got it rectified later when the daughter started liking me on social media. I was like, well, you know. But yeah, no, not in that moment. I just journaled and had to continue forward. I feel like bullying really became normal in some senses, like for a long time. I think cyberbullying is kind of new because I feel like when we were younger, it was just MySpace and stuff. There wasn't even like Facebook. There wasn't all of these different things going on. So it was more so with the bullying, and it was just like, honestly, it was just like, okay, everybody's dealing with that. So kids can be mean. It's crazy. All right, next question. Yes.
As somebody who does like content and stuff like that, how often do you take like breaks?
As often as I need to. That's a really good question. So how often do I take breaks? So sometimes if I need to take a month and just not post, I won't post, because at the end of the day, there's no amount of money that can like pay for your peace of mind. There's no amount of money that can pay for like your mental health to be in good standing. So however long, if my body's telling me like, you're burnt out, you're acting crazy, you're looking at people's social, every time you log on social media, you can't get out of the bed, then I'm like, okay, now, no, it's time to do like a full detox. I will delete it off my phone and be off sometimes for a month. Sometimes that means deactivating my page. I've taken a whole year off social media before. And yes, it might affect like me being able to interact with my clients or something like that. But like I said, nothing surpasses my peace. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Any more questions?
That was my question. Like, so when you take your breaks, you just go certain, like you don't even schedule content?
It depends. So I was in the middle of a fast, the Daniel fast at the beginning of the year. And I was like, oh, but I'm kind of on like a roll with my content. So I ended up scheduling all my content beforehand. Okay. But I gave up Instagram in the fast, so I had to be off at that time. So yeah, sometimes it could require that, but if it's like genuinely I just need to get off here and I'm at my limit, I'm not even worried about scheduling anything at that point. Now, if I do have a brand deal that I'm in the middle of doing, then yes, it would require me to schedule it. But if it's just like I'm just posting on there and, you know, just pitching to get brand deals, then I'll stop it all just to like get it together.
Right.
Next question.
Do you get paid for social media?
Do I get paid? Sometimes. So there are some occasions where I will do brand deals and they could be a couple $1,000s. Sometimes they're a couple $100s. There's been times where I've been invited to a new platform and they'll pay me for that. So yes, you can make money from social media. And then I'm sure Aaron can relate to this too, but sometimes people look at your social media and they cast you for campaigns and stuff. They'll just see you doing your makeup, or they might see you doing something funny like on Aaron's page, and then they're like, she's the one, booking her. So yeah, it can happen. You can make money on and off social media with your social media. There are actually times, actually just came back from a family trip in Hawaii, and while I was on my family trip, people were booking me to do makeup, and that's because they're seeing my Instagram and they're able to see my website portfolio. So even if you're not directly making income from social media, maybe you're making a passive income from people seeing your social media. Maybe you sell your courses on social media. I'm getting ready to put some classes together and some courses together on social media. Maybe you're selling your book on social media. Whatever you want. It's wide open. I actually know some girls that are your age that like sell their makeup line, and I think this one girl, I think she's 6 and she's an actress, but she has, her mom runs her social media, but she has lip gloss line and a nail polish line. So you're not too young to start it. If you're not too young to get on that iPad and look at YouTube, then you're not too young to make YouTube. Any more questions? Yes, Miss Erin.
Can you tell us what tools you use to remember who you are when cyberbullying happens?
Ooh, that's good. Okay, so I would say I would definitely go to meditating. So doing a little meditation. So meditation can be something that you're listening to, like a guided meditation on YouTube where someone's guiding you through breathing and remembering who you are, and maybe they're saying affirmations, or you can do it by yourself, just taking time. You can sit down, you can sit Indian style and just sit there and think and breathe and think positive thoughts while you're breathing. And that's basically meditating, just being still, sitting cross-legged or however you want to sit. You can even lay down if you want to and just look at the wall or close your eyes and be still and just remember all the positive things about yourself. So I would say that. I would say I use affirmations. I'm really big on affirmations. Raise your hand if you know about affirmations. You know about, everybody knows about affirmations, so I don't want to hear that y'all are using them, because I'm going to check in. I'm going to ask Miss Tiffany, like, what's been going on? Yeah, using your affirmations, creating affirmations around whatever it is that I'm feeling. So maybe I received a negative comment on a video I did. Oh, girl, I don't like that foundation on you, whatever. And now I'm going to make affirmations that combat that specifically. So instead of saying generic affirmations like, I am happy, I am calm, then I'm saying I'm a great makeup artist. I don't need others' validation to validate that I'm good at what I do. I am good at what I do. I do wonderful work. So I find and make specific affirmations within my journal that have to do with whatever it is that I was cyberbullied about. And then I would say just taking walks, being active. I love being in the gym. Or going to eat a good meal or something when I'm not feeling right, or drinking some water and minding my business. So, you know, just a few things there, you know, whatever floats your boat. Next question. Any more questions? Any more questions? Is it time to take some pictures, guys? All right, let's take some pictures. Thank you guys. Thank you.